in Shashemene, Ethiopia. We are at our ziontrainlodge with Alex and Sandrine, and we want to go back to where it started and what brought you here. So let's go back with you, Alex, and let's start at where you're from.
From France. My parents from Guadeloupe and Martinique, French island in the Caribbean, but I self was born in Paris and grew up there. Yeah.
And how was for you growing up in France? What kind of memories do you have with France?
Happy days.
Happy days.
Tell you the truth. I'm a Rasta man, but I don't want to criticize Babylon for nothing,
Okay.
Babylon is Babylon still.
Yeah.
But the way I was living in a Babylon was a perfect way.
And what would you say your interests were when you was younger? Because we spoke about music. I would like to know when the music started.
I saw Bob Marley in concert when I was a teenager in 1980 in Paris.
Wow.
That was my first step in Rastafari,
And how was the concert? What do you remember?
Amazing. Yeah, I was completely overwhelmed by the performance of Bob on stage.
So when you left the concert, what was in your mind?
Oh, growing my dreadlocks and become a Rasta man, following his steps.
Yeah. So when would you say that when would you say that Rastafari got serious in your life? What stage did you start to educate yourself?
Many years after that.
Yeah.
Because when I saw Bob in concert, my parents stopped me to follow him. They said, no dreadlocks at home, we don't want that, we don't want Rasta at home. Don't forget it. But I have to put Rastafari away for a while. And it's long time after, when I was 22 years old, I was at university in France. And they offered me the opportunity to go to West Africa, in Benin, for humanitarian cause. And when I reached Africa, immediately, Rastafari, come again, brother, to me.
Was the movement big there across Africa at the time?
No,
Not
just
really.
the vibe with Africa.
Yes.
With the continent and home sweet home, I used to say.
So, yeah, the roots. So what was the feeling like when you first got here?
I recognize, my home and my family,
Yeah.
because I used to go regularly to West Indies, to Guadeloupe and Martinique, and I see Benin, was exactly the same vibe, same type of people, same link. And for me it was clear I was an African.
So after spending time in West Africa, how long was you there for?
I lived 10 years in Guadeloupe to find myself, because I grew up, in Paris, in the belly of the beast. And I have to look for my, past origin and culture, my identity. Donc I spent 10 years in Guadeloupe searching for myself. Good experience in the bush,
Yeah.
mostly.
And so after Guadeloupe, how did you then find Ethiopia?
I returned to France like 10 years after, in 2000. I stayed 2 years traveling to France playing music. I'm a drummer, I'm a singer. And by that way, we met together. I met my wife.
And that's the thing that I would like to tell is now Sandrine's point, because we spoke a little bit yesterday about the story behind how you guys met. So if Sandrine, you could tell us that story, would be fantastic.
Okay, I will try with my English.
Do you think I should give her my mic for now? Yeah? Okay, we'll cut this bit.
Yes. Alors, my first approach with the Rastafari movement, it's when I meet Alex. I wasn't Rasta before, but in 2000, I was married in Nice, in France, and my husband and my children had a car accident in Nice, and only my small daughter, she had 11 months at this time, was saved. And in one day, I lost my husband and my son in the car accident. So it was a real tribulation for me, of course. But I feel some help on me, like someone helped me from, I don't know where at this time, but now I know, Jah helped me at this time, you know. And after that, I try to find a reason for that. I take again my Bible and try to read how these kind of things can happen, where they are now, you know. And I have a friend, Indian friend in Nice, and she meet Alex and a different Rasta with him in a mountain, and she invited them at home in Nice, and she say, I know you search for the reason with the Bible and everything. I have Rasta people in my home. If you want, you can come and discuss with them. And I came with my daughter, and I discovered what is Rasta, really. Not only music, not only ganja, it's a real spiritual thing. And we discussed about the Bible. I discovered Haile Selassie. I never heard about Haile Selassie before. And it was real, I think at this time he put a seed in me, and after the seed grows, you know, because he moves again after. He don't stay in Nice, you know.
Yeah.
I was alone, but reading my Bible, I feel a lot of revelation in the Bible, you know. Alone, without the church, without the priest, nothing. And after 2 years, Alex came back in Nice. Donc he came at home and we discussed again, and he never moved from this time.
So was the journey, maybe I'll take it back or not?
No, it's okay.
It's okay. So maybe the journey with Ethiopia, was this discussed between both of you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did you feel about thinking about moving to Ethiopia at the time?
I think I was ready for that.
Yeah.
You know, the first time we went in Africa in Cameroon, because we sponsored a little boy in Cameroon, and we visited him. It was the first time in Africa for me. And after that, 1 year after, we say it's time to go to leave Babylon, and I leave my job at this time, and we decided to come.
How was people's reaction around you that knew you?
It was not easy because, you know, they passed all this tribulation with me. My parents, my family all around was very near of me at this time. And my daughter, she was the only one survivor on the accident. They are very protected from her. She was very small, huh? And but it was my choice. And I had 40 years at this time. I wasn't a teenager, and I take my decision. But it's not easy because when you go out of the box in Babylon, everybody look at you like a stranger, you know. Because I started to grow my dreadlocks. I put, on my head. I cover my head. Donc the people, when they see that, they say you have a problem. You are not like them.
So they would probably think that you're having a midlife crisis, or
Exactly.
you had mental problems,
Exactly.
because they're in the system and they don't understand what it would be like to try and live out of the system,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But I think my elder sister, she passed away now, but she came.
She
The
came.
only one she came, it was her with her daughter at this time, when in the beginning of the lodge. I think it was to take care and speak with the family and explain for them how we live here, you know. But she was very happy to be here, and she knows after our life. It's a natural life. They have no problem at all, and our children, they grow up here because we have a boy. After when we arrived in Ethiopia, I was pregnant, 7 months, and our son was born in Addis. And he grew up here, you know, without any problem. Our daughter, She's blonde with blue eyes, you know, and she grew up here in Shashemene. She went to school in Shashemene. She speaks Amharic like Ethiopian people. She white and everything. And our life was very nice in the place. You know? We had a lot of animals, horse, cows, dogs, and everything. And for the children, it's paradise.
I think we discussed yesterday, Alex, that you said that this place is like a monastery for you. And
Yes,
we discussed about living in Shashemene and how it wasn't easy at first. Could you explain, for example, what was the challenges coming here?
Without speaking the language, because we don't speak Amharic. Even after 20 years, my shame, we're not so good with language. But even without speaking, you know, by the grace of the Most High, it was possible to succeed. You know, it's now 20 years, you know, performing in ziontrainlodge without any deception. You know, don't give thanks to the Most High. You know, all the challenges were carried by him. You know, not by I and I. You know, by him, the Most High.
Always.
He's the one who guides us, who protects us from all obstacles, danger, and things. Look, if you have faith, that's what it means. If you trust him, everything is possible. Don't look, you know, on your own weakness or, you know, you're small, you're this and that. No, Jah is the Almighty. If Jah is by your side, man, he opened all the gates for you. That's my view and my teaching from all those experiences right here in Ethiopia.
And we discussed yesterday about how in the community here between other Rastas, there is a little bit of, I would say, knocking of heads in belief system and what one Rasta can believe in to another Rasta. And not everybody can live in harmony in paradise.
No.
It's impossible, right? But you also told us how there was a huge fire here. If you can explain about that, because this was a very interesting topic yesterday that we discussed.
Yeah. You know, Shashemene is the right place to be. Ethiopia at large is the place where gods love to be, we used to say. Look, it's a holy place. But it doesn't mean it's easy. It doesn't mean it's a bed of roses. It's not. It's a battlefield, brother. Ethiopia is the only African country who has never been colonized. Ethiopia was, for years, from time, always in fighting, resisting invaders, you know, enemies all around. And it developed kind of, you know, resilience in Ethiopian minds and tough minds, you know. Look, it's not easy to live amongst them because all of them warriors, brother. And 4 years ago, Shashemene was in fire. In one day, they uprise against all the foreigners in Shashemene. Oromo people fight against all foreigners and burn their properties, you know, their houses, their restaurants, hotel. Terrible time. Look, it can happen here in Africa. Africa, you know, very well known for instability. But Africa was most of the time destabilized by the former colonizers as well, especially Ethiopia. It's a political strategy to keep us away from time, I used to say. But by the grace of the Most High, in this fire, it's only ziontrainlodge who has been spared, but miraculously. You know, the protesters didn't touch anything from us, but we were protected again and again. Donc it was a way for us to show the world, you know, our divine guidance. It's not a joke thing, it's a real thing, but when you walk in the step of His Majesty Haile Selassie I the First, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, brother, you just bless. That's it. You know, remember what happened to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the Bible, in the past history. They thrown them in the fire, but they never get burned. That's what happened to I. We're in the fire, we're still in the fire, but without any wounded, you know, any damage, we're safe. Give thanks to Jah. Yes,
You just have to put everything in His hands,
Yeah.
and He takes care of us every time, every minute.
And so, when we spoke and we discussed about, you know, when you left France and you went back to your roots and you was finding yourself and, you know, the culture, you must have seen then what France had done in its colonization and where you're at now with that feeling.
I hope I become mature. I mean, I'm not anymore in rebellion. I don't protest so much. I don't denounce their iniquity all the time. It's not my focus. I try my best to love my enemies, to bless them. You know, bless those who curse you, say the Bible. That's my, you know, point. And forgive them because they don't know what they're doing. Love them above all. Love is the only solution. And Rastafari is the key for human being nowadays, brother. It's time to reconcile the north and the south, the east and the west, you know, black and whites, poor and rich, you know, no more duality. You know, we're just one in the eyes of the Almighty. You know, one blood, one heart, one perfect love in them all. Selassie.
And I read through some, yesterday before bed, I read through some letters that you had written to the president, which were very interesting letters. For the people watching this, they obviously won't have the opportunity to read the letters, but what would you say your purpose of the letters at the moment to reach the president?
I try with tenderness, with sweet words, diplomatic words. I try to convince, you know, the leaders of the world, not only French people, by the way, all leaders of the world, to become aware about, you know, our survival as human race, brother. Stop dividing us. Stop dividing us, brother. It's time to unite and to find, you know, the solution, you know, to survive. We're in danger, and it's an emergency to react. And I'm sure through prayer, through faith, determination, it's possible to change and to stop this escalade, you know?
So how do you see your relationship working with the French government for you being in Ethiopia?
My wife and I were French correspondent with the French embassy. It's like a controversial point in our community as Rasta, you know, because Rasta used to be, you know, part of the French government or any government of this world, brother. Because Rasta used to be rebellious, you know, and anti-establishment. but I focus on how Haile Selassie himself was behaving at the time. Haile Selassie is the head of Rastafari movement. He's our leader, our shepherd, and he showed us the way. He's an example. And he was always dealing, cordially with all the head of states of this world, trying to find ties and good relationship. As a servant of him, I try to do my best to emulate him. It's not easy because I'm not emperor. I'm not head of state myself. I'm a simple servant, Maybe I'm a simple slave, the last one, But with faith, you can move mountains. Look, everything is possible. It's not an easy way, for sure. I put most of my community, against me for that. It's difficult for them to understand what I'm doing. But Jah knows. And if Jah agree, time will tell.
And for me, when I came to Shashemene, I had some visions of how it would be, but also visions of how reality might be here, because I've done some research. And for speaking as myself, I think that you are Shashemene. I think that you're a big part of Shashemene with the Rastafari community, because outside of the gates here, I've been to have a look, and it's not welcoming. It's not a place where people can feel comfortable, but with you guys in this, I call it sanctuary, it's a beautiful place. It's calm, it's relaxing. People can come and do yoga with you. We've been doing yoga every morning, and we've had good food. How would you see yourself advertising to bring people here? Like, what is your purpose to bring people here? Why do you want more people to come?
I hope ziontrainlodge is just a step forward into the kingdom of heaven. Nothing more, nothing less. But,
yeah.
It's just the beginning.
Yeah.
Donc, the starting is very weak because we suffer from so many things: lack of finance, lack of tourists, lack of security sometimes, of brotherhood. It's like a real challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But from that weakness, the Almighty can manifest His might. Yeah, my confidence.
And what do you see the future with ziontrainlodge? How do you see it growing? Like, what do you want to offer the people that are watching this, that want to come to ziontrainlodge? What do you offer here? Like, what do you guys offer us? We know what you offer, but what can you say to the camera?
We share our faith with people, our life experience, and we see future through prophecy, because we're real believers, real followers of Christ, and we know, we're supposed to know what's gonna happen next. Donc we're here to offer those secrets, those treasures to the world, nothing to hide. We just share what we know, what we receive from Him to the world. Selassie I live.
And walking around your place, seeing the work that's gone into it, the artwork, the paintings, the buildings, also all of the fruits and vegetables that you grow. You're very self-sufficient here, like a permaculture. and I think this is a really important thing for people to come and see, is that, in my opinion, this will be the future. People will need to learn how to grow crops again, cultivate, and heal themselves, because the food that we have these days on the shelves is not as good. And so anyone watching this, we really recommend you to come see these guys. We've had a fantastic time here, and I'm grateful for Alex sharing a lot of wisdom with us, and Sandrine sharing her wisdom and delicious cooking. So we just want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we'll see you soon. Thank you very much.
Love.
You ready?
Africa. Tambour vanté, laïs sera-t-il calé. Tam-tam limé, des familles jouées vertifées. Toute chaîne pétée, car rédemption par les Français. Africa. Tambour. D'avoir vous qu'on l'agneau, c'est même qui sont à mes Congo. À part d'autres qu'il est 144 000 commandos. Qu'est sonné, vaillant, bel cantique nouveau. Pour chouler en nouvelle Jéricho, mes amis natifs, boulot, bravo. Africa.
Rastafari. Thank you very much, guys. That was beautiful. Amazing. That was amazing.
Shashemene, on est Congo, qu'a levé la vie. Shashemene, c'est là ça qu'a passé, messieurs. Boulot, bien contre mal qu'a goûté. Allez dire toute la vérité. Boulot, bien contre mal qu'a goûté. Dio, c'est côté si ça qu'a passé. Shashemene, on est marron, qu'a levé la vie. Shashemene, c'est là ça qu'a passé, messieurs. Ça a été au commencement, c'est ça qui a la fin. Nous pas besoin inquiète, la prophétie qu'a